It's very convenient to be able to save a workspace and recall the workspace, especially if you want to have things a certain way, certain windows open, and so on. For example, however ArtemiS SUITE is at the time you save a workbook, it's going to be that way when you recall it. So I'm going to hide the player. I normally leave the player visible, but this time I'm going to hide it just to show you this capability. So before I recall the workbook I'm about to make, I'm going to bring the player back into view as it would normally be, and then show you what happens when you recall this. So this is about 2 small electric motor assemblies, and we're going to use a mark analyzer with one window and put 2 2D analyses in the same window, an FFT average and an A-weighted version of it for 2 different small electric motor assemblies. So we'll calculate, we're going to get 2 mark analyzers. One of them is unweighted green, and the other one is A-weighted red, single channel data. So we can see here what happens. Let's now say we would like to evaluate all of this in one DataViewer window. So instead, I'll keep my 2 marks. I will switch from the mark analyzer to a DataViewer with the default settings and recalculate. So here we have the ability to see any of these. And once again, I have hidden the player, and we have the project also available. So let's go to Workbook up at the top, and there's a pull down. You can save or load. Let's save this. So I'm going to hit save. Here's one I already had about a very complicated one that took a long time to calculate, which is one of the real beauties of this, and we'll get to that after this short example. So I'm going to call this Small Motors Workbook. So that is the file name, and I hit save. It's now going to ask me what I want to save, what it is prepared to include for me. I can choose to include or not include. I want to include everything, i.e. include the time files and their calculated graphic results. This is what saves time. Let's say you have a project that took you 20 minutes to calculate. You've got 20 mark analyzers. You're about to see this, and the ability to call them up immediately and be able to work with it right away, exactly as you would had you just calculated it, is a tremendous boon. So let's hit create, and now it is created. So I'm going to close everything here, close this group, close this project without saving, bring back the player with the pin down so we have a normal situation, and now go back to Workbook, load, find it, Small Motors Workbook.hwb, head Workbook, and hit open. Now it further asks you to open the Workbook.hwb file, which is simply called that. So we'll open that and watch what happens. The player disappears. We have our project, we have our 2 mark analyzers, and our data viewer. Now I'm going to close these, and I'm going to close this project, and I'm going to bring the player back pinned down as it normally would be, and I'm going to go and show you something that we are disguising the contents, because this is our actual project and we do not disclose anything. You're only going to see numbered mark analyzers, and you're going to see no data names or anything else that would be irrelevant to this topic. So I'm going to go to load, and I'm going to go find in the file here not the small motors. I need to go up a level, so please bear with me. So don't look, we're going to edit this part out. I need to go to Wade's World, many results, long time calc example, open, hit Workbook, hit open, and watch what happens. It is populating all of these immediately. These are 20-second files, and there is a whole batch of them here, and it took quite a while to calculate this. So we are blanking out what it is, and I'm not going to open any of these, but these are ready to roll mark analyzers with time data and graphic results, and they come back immediately because not only are the files attached to the mark analyzers, but the calculations and the graphics are also saved. So that is the beauty of the workbook. Please use it. You can also transmit a workbook with all of its ingredients, which get saved together, to another computer and run your workbook that way.